Human trafficking, I think, it's never really disappeared. It's a different set of circumstances nowadays, to the point where we've termed it things such as modern slavery. There's always been, I think, the natural assumption that cheap labor means bigger profits, and someone wins and someone loses. So as long as that exists in human nature, in society, we're going to find areas of means and ways to exploit others. And it's really sad that despite all of our modernization, that we continue to prey, if you will, on those that are the most vulnerable, those that have the least, those that don't have a support system around them, those that don't believe in themselves. And those situations create a natural breeding ground for those who want to prey on others. So human trafficking is the term we use today. Modern slavery is the term we use today. But it's never disappeared. We've always found a way to exploit each other. And whether we do that in the name of marriage, in the name of labor, in the name of sexual exploitation, it happens. It happens everywhere. So I think we fool ourselves in thinking that it doesn't exist, that it disappeared. It's always been here.
They're thinking that human trafficking is only for very young girls and it's only focused on sex trafficking. In Toronto, we have been seeing cases of labor trafficking, and it's the most invisible. Also, the international cases and even forced marriage. They are the ones that they are very common to see it here. It's a violation of human rights.
One of the main reasons why Aurora House is needed is that I think right now the current shelter and hostel system doesn't provide services that would meet the needs. Now they don't have counseling or any services specific for trafficked people, such as helping them deal with trauma, helping them overcome the traumatic experiences that they have faced. We also find too that in a traffic situation, a recent report showed that people felt they didn't have enough time to allow them to heal, to recover. So a long-term program such as Aurora House will give them that time, so that it's, often we have people in short-term accommodations and it won't fully meet their needs. They will move on without having fully recovered or healed, and then they may encounter more problems in the future. So I think that Aurora House will give them a great opportunity to be a support for each other, to have a lot of time to look at healing, to look at how they can cope, with the future that they have, with what they have experienced in the past.
It's really a critical step in the rehabilitation process once you work with a survivor to leave a situation where they're going to be for that period before they're able to be fully independent, fully self-sufficient, is critical in their recovery process. So a very robust long-term transitional housing is so rare really in this space, and an effective program is absolutely critical to helping survivors regain their sustainable livelihoods and their futures, and to really become strong, capable to stay out of their situation, and possibly to even be effective advocates for other people not to be in situations of trafficking or to leave their situations in the future.
I think it's really important to have somewhere that's specific for for victims and survivors of human trafficking, because it's such a different scenario and it's such a complex issue, and there's so many different elements involved. They're not the same as other types of crime and other types of victims, so it's very important for them to get specific help for their specific trauma.
Aurora House is in a unique space in time in this fight against human trafficking, and that refuge is hard to come by. So very excited for the work that will be done there.
Right now, there are very few options for people who have been trafficked, for women who have been trafficked, in terms of housing. It's very, very limited, and I would say in the province of Ontario there's only a couple of options around housing for trafficked women. So the need is there, it's long overdue.
In our study, we basically identified the biggest challenges that organizations face in assisting victims, and some of these challenges, where I have the list actually in front of me, the main ones were organizational funding, access to financial resources, lack of housing, financial support to the victim, finding counseling for the victim, a lack of proper risk assessment, and other things such as access to medical support and access to legal support. And I think Aurora House is crucial here because they will be providing all of these services, which is absolutely revolutionary in Ontario. And
I think Aurora House will provide a critical need that currently doesn't exist, that an opportunity to have a long-term transitional housing program that is paired with other types of services such as counseling, psychological services, is critical to providing really a model for a promising practice in long-term rehabilitation of survivors of trafficking. That I think if Aurora House can really show to Canada and even other parts of the world what a successful program looks like, that it has a significant opportunity not only to make a difference in Toronto but to other parts of Canada and beyond.
Aurora House has an important part to play in supporting those who have been trafficked. Its own mission and mandate speaks very similarly to that of the Mennonite New Life Center, in that we want to be a place of refuge and a place of welcome and a safe space to build a life, whatever that life might be. The services that will be offered at Aurora House, it's about empowerment, it's about engagement, it's about creating a foundation for those individuals, those residents that will be living in the house, that allow them not to brush away what's happened to them in the past, but to deal with it head on, to be supported on that journey, but to also be given the hope that there is life after this.